Act number 3. The Fool of Fools. Trevol McConner. Some would call him the perfect model of society. Married, father of 2, a successful attorney with his own law firm. Wealthy. It was a day like no other. Trevol woke up, his wife still sleeping after making love to her. She had no suspicions of what her husband was doing behind her back. She was truly satisfied after her first time sleeping with him. Every time he came from work, he would look at her as if he was hungry for her. He would treat her as a hooker, as if he could do whatever he wanted to her and never see her again. She always thought he needed to blow steam, but it was more than that. Trevol put on an expensive suit, drove his Mercedes to work. He arrived at the office minutes later, received his daily inform of business from his secretary. "Is that all?" the secretary said. "There's one more thing. Business partner from Sweden is on the line." Trevol, he said. "Good. Tell everyone not to disturb me. I'll be busy all day." Trevol closed the door of his office, took a sip of coffee, and picked up the phone. "Trevol, speak." "Business are taken care of. The CEO of the company won't talk unless he wants to see the head of his wife in a delivery box." Trevol smiled, showing straight, perfect teeth. It was about time. Let him know that my associates and I are very interested in expanding our business in Sweden, and his company export connections will make that happen. We don't take mistakes lightly. Next time he tries something, cut off his fingers and only then send his wife's head on a present box. Trevol hung up the phone and gave a second sip of his coffee. The day just started after all. The secretary calls his boss on office line. "Sir, there is a man that says he works for John's father. He says John and you are old friends." Trevol's eyes lit up. He said, "Put him on the line immediately." Trevol: "Mr. McConner, I work for John's father on a delicate matter." The investigator said, "Mr. McConner, I work for John's father on a delicate matter. I understand you and John were old friends. Someone could say you two were like brothers." "It's true. After we did everything together, parties, shared the same hookers, they even graduated the same year. After John and I finished college, we took different ways. I had to take over my father's company after his passing, so I became busy to keep partying with my brother John. How is he, by the way?" The investigator says, "Well, that's exactly what I came here to tell you. His father, you know him, has kicked him out of the house. He received a substantial amount of money 2 years ago to put himself together. However, at the rate he is going, he'll run out of money in less than a year. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the street in a month or two. Mr. Duncan wants to ask you if you could give the boy a hand. I understand your father and Mr. Duncan were old friends, just as you and John were. Trevol thought for a moment, the pros and cons. He wanted to see John again and have a party with his old friend, blow up some steam. Trevol said, "Tell Mr. Duncan I'll call John in the morning. He'll get straightened up after I talk to him." The investigator says, "Excellent. My employer will be glad to hear that." Few times Trevol felt joy like this one. He will actually see his old friend. Booze, living like there was no tomorrow. Those were the days. No obligations, no double life, no lies. "Mr. McConner, your associate from Sweden is in the line 4, said the secretary. Trevol immediately changed gears and went back to having a readable face detached of any emotions. "Boss, I found the 4 intruders of our operation. It looks like all of them are spies infiltrated by our competitors." Trevol saw 4 men tied up to chairs with their eyes covered. "Let me out! Let me out!" one of them screamed. A man with a rifle hit him in the head. The tied up man stopped screaming and began crying. What did they want this time? Apparently, these 4 wanted to know where our next cargo was located, so they could steal it from us and distribute it for themselves. "Is everything taken care of at the warehouse?" Trevol asked. "Yes, boss. All employees were sent home. Nobody noticed they were missing." "Good. You know what to do," he heard in the background. "Okay, boys. You heard it." 4 shots were heard in the background. Pum! 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 "Oh, one more thing," Trevol said. "Please, send their heads to our competitors. We need to show them that we don't steal from others." "Yes, boss." The man in the screen got to work. It was another day. Trevol went back home. He finished eating what his wife cooked. When they were in their bedroom, he made love to her as a man who's been starving for days, feeling her release over and over.